our sixth episode of Leaders Lens, we have with us Mrs. Narasimhamurthy, Academic Director of the Study Lecole Internationale Puducherry. This month we are focusing on the school administration, which includes keeping the stakeholders, including teachers, parents, happy, and enhancing the fees collection and more questions. So let's get started. Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
So, Inspired Newsletter is an initiative from Clasteq, wherein we try to spread different views of educators across all the schools. Every month we pick a topic, a theme, which is pretty much related to education. And this month we have school administration as the topic, where there are more challenges now. And having a person who having a vast experience in CBSE international schools, and even you have been a member of CBSE committee, I'm sure you will be able to give us some better views on the questions that we have. What are the key expectations that the schools have from teachers, parents, and how can the school keep teachers happy?
As an academic director, I now understand the crux of directly focusing on administration. One thing what I always feel is that the school, when you come to academics or the general administration, it is intertwined. And we cannot call it as a entirely different aspect. As you said, teacher satisfaction, parent satisfaction, all these are very student satisfaction above all. And the management satisfaction.
True.
So this is something very crucial for the development of the school. There is no doubt. The main point what we are now looking at, how to bring about that satisfaction. And after COVID especially, all the schools, all academic institutions have really undergone a lot of stress. In the sense, whatever we used to do in the previous conventional time is not accepted. And neither, now it has come to a stage where neither the modern methodologies are accepted. They say, no, my son is not able to read or thoroughly say the tables, or certain basic things where you need rote memory is not accepted, because on the other side there are this competency based teaching and learning has come into now as far as the CBSE is concerned, because it is the international standard. Now the teachers have to equip themselves to that, so they have a lot of additional responsibility. So anything happens in the classroom, they say the teacher is only responsible. So bringing about that ownership of the teachers is really quite a big task, but schools have to work on that in different ways. One thing is we have to trust them and give them the needed guidance and training for the teachers to involve themselves, commit themselves into the teaching which they are already doing. But the today's teaching is entirely different. It's not that old ways where you have the chalk and the talk method, but now they have to learn from a vast set of resources. Then in that case, the teachers also have to be equipped to know that so many resources are there, and my teaching is not confined to only the books, what they have in hand. So now that additional responsibility is there on the teachers. So we are working on those lines to orient the teachers to understand the different kinds of resources available and equip them to teach the modern set of students. Though teaching is the same, it is essentially one basic thing, but that teaching today's world is entirely different. So, and the parent side, you can see that they get stressed if the child is, whether it is getting marks or not getting marks. But beyond that, the parents feel that the mild level of instructions being given. No, that child has got stressed because you gave this instruction. You told him to do that. Because they may do some mistakes. We have to point it out. Even that some parents are not accepting. But we have a different set of parents who also tell that you take any methodology and ultimately my son should learn. And especially the children coming from that level, it is so difficult for them to come to this standard again. So we are working on those things through various methods.
Teachers are involved in door-to-door campaign for admissions these days. Some schools have that practice. So, what is your observation? Is it an encouraging trend, or it is something that should be avoided? What is your view?
Sir, what I would think is teachers have a better perception about the system that we are working in. So they will be able to speak to the parents about the system, how we are working, the approach, the scientific approach of learning. And if there are any questions for the parents also, they would be better persons to reply to such queries of the parents, such doubts of the parents. So that is why we sometimes feel that teachers must be involved in admissions, especially even for, when we are having admissions. During admissions, we used to have teachers involved in talking to the parent, talking to the child to assess where they stand, so that accordingly we can plan our teaching learning methodology. So in a way it is okay. But on the other side, we are looking at like how census is being taken by teachers, like that. It is a clerical job. No, it is not a clerical job. It is a counseling job.
Okay.
So admissions counseling has to be teachers should be involved in that.
Okay.
So that would give a better perspective, a respect to parents, that they are not talking to somebody who is just going to come and advertise, or just coming and talking something which they are not involved in. But now these teachers who are talking there also know that the expectations of the teachers, they will be aware, and they will be able to suitably develop themselves also, orient themselves also.
Okay.
So I feel that involvement, especially in private schools, is needed. And in government schools, we all know that the dropout rates are more, and the children not coming to school.
True.
So that will help them definitely.
Okay.
That a teacher coming there to talk to them will give the confidence.
The growing issue of indiscipline among the students. So, what is the underlying cause and how to address it?
So sometime back, teachers were given all the rights to tell every child what is right, and we had a certain framework within which we work. Even now we have to work in that framework, there's no doubt, because standards have to be maintained always, and we want to instill those kind of good values in the child. And when we are instilling good values, in the earlier times, even if you're harsh, parents and the society accept it. But today, even one word of very forceful word immediately causes so much of trauma to the children. So what is happening? There is an imbalance among the parents, the attitude of the parents. So that is where the indiscipline comes. Like, if all of us are talking in the same language, or all of us are on the same page, it is good. But I cannot expect all the parents to be on the same page. So this is where the indiscipline comes. When I say something is right, and the parents should also insist that something is right, and the system in which they are working, they have to have quality time with the children, and at home and at school. And even in schools nowadays, many teachers don't look at it as a passion. I'm not working with objects. It is not teaching material that I am giving, instructional material. So it is just that I am working with children. Children have different kind of background, different kind, not only socio-economic background, but also they have undergone different experiences in their personal lives, which many teachers are not aware when they are working with them. So what happens? The teacher, what she says is correct, might not be suitable for that child in his or her own world. So how far are we equipped to do that? So the teachers have to have a lot of, counseling mentality, and a teacher must be able to understand the child for what he or she is. And indiscipline can be easily overcome. I give that respect for the child, because today's children are all exposed to various resources through various media. So now I cannot say don't touch the phone. You can't use the phone. You can't use technology. I cannot say. They have to use the technology, but effective usage of the same technology will be very useful. And that the teacher has to understand. Just because I underwent a certain type of schooling doesn't mean that the children also should be addressed the same way. As we always keep telling, we are migrants and they are born with technology. So naturally, the method in which we are addressing them, talking to them, how we are teaching them, everything has to change. And once that change is accepted by the teacher, and automatically there will not be, you will not see indiscipline in a class where the children are fully engaged. All the children, but they should be in a differentiated, like, instructions must be given, different types of activities must be given, and different types of assessments must also be given. Evaluation also must be different. But many teachers think that I give set of questions, I have to correct the same set of questions for n number of children. It cannot happen. So that change comes, then you will see indiscipline will not be there. Some of the schools are there, top schools are there, where methodologies are more important, values are more important. There you will not see indiscipline. All children come out very successfully in life with a very clear understanding of values in life.
True. Very nice. What are some practical strategies to enhance, to boost fee collection in school?
Very crucial question you have asked me, sir. And especially now, having been associated with quite a number of different schools, I feel it is a challenge. Especially, where some very easily we can tell you are not. I shouldn't use the word that, but still I have to sometimes tell this. When somebody is not affordable to a particular fee structure, why do you want to be associated with that fee structure?
Okay.
So now it becomes very difficult. I can't go and tell the parents, you are not able to afford, and why did you put in your child in this school? Why do you want the child to continue in this school? These are questions which are pertinent questions, but still, education is for all. And education is a right for everybody. Then in that case, the schools, though we have policies, though we have everything, on the other side, we also have governmental pressure, political pressures that projects it in a different way. We all basically should understand any institution needs some kind of funding to be self-sustained, to run its own show. You have teachers to pay, you have other employees to be paid. And from where do I generate the funding? It's only through the fees. So now in that case, if there are schools which are working only on the fees, they don't take any extra money. So in such schools, it is quite a difficulty, So there are the schools, depending on their background, but have to truthfully communicate to the parents, saying that this is what I want, kindly pay. I cannot take, because you have other court verdicts and other things which says you cannot fleece the parents, fleece the children, and you cannot take any action on the children by holding their answer papers, by not making them attend the exams, or not distributing some answer scripts or anything like that. But the parents they have to take legal action on the parents. How can we do that? So the trust with which the parents are here, we respect it, but still we are now working on various strategies by sending letters to the parents and other things to ensure that the parents understand the need for them to pay and then continue paying their fees of their wards. It is a very difficult situation for all the schools.
We come across this situation across all the schools. So there are a lot of overdues to be paid by the parents, and most schools have the struggle in collecting the fee. So I thought
this is a very crucial question, sir. How do we say this is the way I have to do it? Government also has to give us the support. But I'm very thankful to the government at that time, at least during 2020, after the COVID, there was a humongous amount of fees that was pending, and at that time the court verdict, of course, definitely helped, because it was telling that the school has every right to collect the fees from the child. But only thing is, these kind of actions we cannot resort to such kind of actions. But we all understand we are in a world where we have to use the funds for the welfare of the people involved in the institution.
Okay. Okay. There is a heightened emotional reaction from everybody almost in the society, including particularly if you take schools. Uh, there is a heightened emotional reaction for even silly things from parents, from students, from teachers. How to handle this? What would you advise people in general, not only for teachers and students or parents? What would you advise in general for people to have a balanced emotion?
Um, this is a very, it is not just important, but beyond that, a question where emotions have to be handled is each and every human being is different. So many human beings are, human resources are involved in the field of education and especially at different levels. It is very, very difficult, sir. And the only thing is when you are calm and composed, the person who is in handling that situation, whether it is a teacher, whether it is a counselor, whether it is a security personnel, or whether it is a housekeeping, they should respect the question that is being asked to them. So, respecting each other, making people aware that there is a, I'm involved in some work, and this is a work which involves so many people around me. I have to respect everybody who is coming, and they, each and everyone has some question, has some query, has some doubt, clarification is needed. So it is just my responsibility to clarify it and use the simple, calm language, calm and composed language, and do ensure that you are not perturbed is very, very important. And I keep on insisting to everyone, whether it is teachers or everybody, at that time you look at yourself as a third person, and you just imagine if you are in the other shoes. When teachers come and tell me, ma'am, they are talking like this is how it is, I say just reverse your roles, and you will see that they have some justification for what they are doing. But I'm not coming to say that, but they are so anxious, or their anxiety is not justified. But now this is the time when we have to be calm. We have to make them realize that this is the situation, and you need to act accordingly. Children are getting perturbed so much, immediately getting angry. When I talk to them, then they tell, yes, ma'am, I could have thought like that. So you have to talk. Now today's world is where they are exposed to, as I already referred, exposed to too many things. And Google Daddy is the guru. So now, irrespective whether they have valid data there, whether the data is reliable, children think that I get everything on my fingertips. I don't have to listen to somebody. Respect that. I tell the teachers, respect that. Okay, now we will do a small research. These are the websites. From that, you research and get the data, and we will work on that. So now their satisfaction of using the device is done, and you respect what they wanted to do, and also you have done what you wanted to do. So like this, every situation has to be handled in a very, very, technically, what should I say, in a balanced way.
Okay.
But that the teachers have to be trained, the adults have to be trained in the the stakeholders in this school system, at least the school system I'm talking about, has to be kind of exposed, trained and oriented, so that, we will be having a better resolution for the future.
Okay. A few words about our newsletter, Inspire.
Yes, indeed. I'm really very happy. I wanted to tell this in the beginning itself, but now that you have specifically asked me, I liked your logo, first of all. Very thoughtful logo, which is connecting us, so very well, connecting institutions, educational institutions, specifically, educational field, specifically. I, being an educational technology person, I like the way you have your newsletter is designed, and the aspects of bringing in the leaders lens, through the eyes of the leaders, how the societies, what is that we can contribute to the schools is something very, very significant. And also your parenting tips, I liked it, where, the Teen Connect and all the pages, every page has got something. And it has a lot of things that everybody can ponder about and can think about, and very useful for all the stakeholders. Mostly, magazines will focus either on the management or on the teachers, or they focus on children or parents. But yours is a plethora of a combination of all information in one booklet, I should say. So thank you so much for this.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your kind words. And I hope this ideas and the strategies that you have shared reaches more schools and people get benefited out of it. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.